In this video, we will do another example of reading data from a data file and doing some visualizations. The only difference is this time our data will have multiple columns, not just two columns. Let's look at the data that we'll be working with. That's the data file we have called workoutdata.csv. So we have duration of workout, the pulse rate, maximum pulse rate, the calories burned. Now, duration is in minutes and it's an integer. Pulse is also an integer. Max pulse is also an integer. But look at calories. We have some decimal points here. So we have to be careful about the decimal points when we are reading the data. So that's going to be something new in this video. So I'm starting a new script file, reading and plotting data with multiple fields. So we'll import CSV and we'll declare some variables. Duration is a list of some numbers. By the way, the square brackets, when we have empty square brackets, it means it's an empty list. List in Python is something that appears in square brackets. Then pulse, another empty list. Max pulse, another empty list. And calories. With open workout data.csv as CSV file colon CSV reader equal to CSV dot reader CSV file record num equal to 1 for each row in CSV reader colon if record num equal to 1 colon, that means we are reading the first row which has the fields. So field 1 is equal to each row 0, field 2 equal to each row 1, field 3 equal to each row 2, field 4 equal to each row 3. So those are the 4 fields. Else, that means we are no longer on the first row, we are now on the second row. So now we will read the actual data. So duration dot append each row 0, pulse dot append each row 1, max pulse dot append each row 2, calories dot append each row 3. Now notice we have not used int or anything. We'll see how the data is read and then we'll appropriately add. And we will add record num plus equal to 1. Actually, we forgot to do this here. So we're supposed to increment record num here as well. Okay, now we can close the CSV file. And now let's print the data that we have read. So let's print duration. Let's print pulse. Print max pulse. and print calories. So we've read the data, we've closed the data file, and now we are printing what we read. So let's test this. Import, then we declare the four lists, and then we select this whole thing, and then we close the data file. And now let's see what we read. So the duration was read as not as integer, but as text. Similarly, pulse text, max pulse text, calories text. So that data is not going to be useful to us. So we will add the word int for integer. We'll add int, int. Now, calories is not an integer because we have decimals. So for that, we have to use the word float. So in Python, data with decimals is referred to as float. So that's the only difference. We can we can run this again, import duration post max calories, and then we select this whole thing. We close the data file, and now this time duration is integer, pulse is integer, max pulse is integer, and calories has decimals. So now that we've read the data, we are ready to do some visualizations. So we can import matplotlib.pyplot as plt, and we're ready to plot plt dot. Well, we have four columns of data we can do, and they're all numeric data. So we can do scatter plots between any two of them. So let's suppose we want to do a scatter plot of pulse and max pulse. That's one scatter plot. You can do a scatter plot of pulse and, let's say, duration and calories. You can do a scatter plot of max pulse and calories. We can do a histogram of, let's say, calories. So we have already run this code up to this print, so we can start running it from import matplotlib, scatterplot, another scatterplot, another scatterplot, and then a histogram. So in this video, we looked at a data file with many columns, not just two columns, and we also had a column with some decimals. And since we had many columns, we could do several types of charts using different columns of data. Let's save this file. Data is Python. All right, that's the end of this video.